All right, guys. And this is it. This is the last video I will be making before I go see Deadpool and Wolverine on this Thursday. This is going to be a reaction video, I guess you could call it, because the first reactions for Deadpool and Wolverine have just come out. The premiere happened last night. People got to see this movie. People have seen this movie. Now, obviously, I'm going to preference this stream by saying that there's going to be reactions. If you don't want to know anything about Deadpool and Wolverine, like even just like what people are kind of first thoughts coming out of the theater thinking, then obviously, don't watch this. Don't watch this if you don't want to know anything. I'm someone, I don't mind first reactions. I find first reactions to be fun, kind of get a sense of what we might be in for, what we could be expecting. And another thing we should preference is these are first reactions coming out of a premiere. So these tend to not be people's full reviews. These aren't full reviews. These aren't like reviews. They're literally just people fresh out of the theater saying whether they're excited, saying whether or not they like the movie or the issues, whatever. So if you, like I said, don't want to know anything, I'm going to do my best to filter this thing to not have any spoilers pop up. Usually premieres are good. Premieres are usually good. People who go to these premieres are usually part of the press. They don't want to lose their access, so they're pretty careful with their words. So I will be filtering through these. I won't have them popping up on the screen. I will pick and choose and then bring it up onto the screen just for you guys. And other than that, guys, let's see what's going on. We got Luke Ponto in here. What's going on, Luke? Saying, Zach, my guy, how's it going, my man? I'm doing well, dude. Just got back from hanging out with some family. Saw that the Deadpool reaction is coming out. So impromptu Zach Milne Talks Live. Also, I should mention this is going to replace Zach Milne Talks Live on Wednesday because for two reasons. One, I actually have family plans on Wednesday, so I'm going to be doing that instead of the show. And also because, like I said, with these first reactions, these are people coming out of the premiere, so they're going to be very, very tight-lipped when it comes to spoilers. But Deadpool and Wolverine actually opens overseas. I know Japan, I think Norway, I think it opens on Wednesday. So just for all of our sakes, I'm going to try to avoid the live chat, Twitter, everything that day. I don't want any trolls coming in here and ruining anything for us. So there won't be a show on Wednesday. We're doing this instead. But I see that the Ace Avenue's in here. What's going on, Ace? Thanks for joining, dude. Yeah, first off, before we actually get to the reaction from the people themselves, I wanted to talk briefly about this because I found this to be pretty cool. And hopefully you guys can hear this because I did a little test really, really quickly. So hopefully you guys can hear this video along with me. But we actually had Kevin Feige on the red carpet talking about not just Deadpool and Wolverine, but also, why can't I get this bigger? There we go. But also talking about how Deadpool and Wolverine is kind of like officially going to kick off mutants in the MCU. I thought this was really cool. So let's check out what he had to say.
Just entered. They love him so much. Kevin, you want to come and talk to us over here? Let's talk to him. Kevin.
He walks with so much swag, man.
Here we are.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey.
How long have you guys been live for?
I'm wise when you're in the multiverse.
1 hour.
That's a good answer. We were driving over, and my
Oh, he
son
wanted to
said,
get a
"Dad,
laugh
look
out of
at
Kevin,
this,"
and he
was
didn't.
watching you guys live on the feed.
So
He was. This is what you were just watching.
You were watching us.
I was
now
on
you're
TV.
Here.
Now
That's just a cute moment. I love that moment.
Well, Kevin, this must feel like a complete full circle moment for you because we know that you had an assistant job on the first X-Men film.
I was around there for a quarter century ago, yes.
Yes.
That's pretty remarkable.
And it's also a full circle
find
moment
that
for me because I was
really
your
cool.
assistant in Miami on the
This
set
part's
of Iron Man
hilarious.
3.
Really?
Alone.
He doesn't remember her at all.
Not as long as X-Men 1, but I remember we were only in Miami for a few
was
days.
He doesn't remember her at all.
Yeah.
It was you and Steven. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
it was so
bless
much
you,
fun.
Kevin. You're lying through your
Yes, so
teeth.
nice to see you. I
That's
know.
great.
Look at
Congrats.
this. So it must be a really big deal to see Wolverine enter the MCU. What
It
is that like
you know,
for you?
I had thought that part of my film career was behind me. Those first few X movies really important to me and started me on this journey. But when we started Marvel Studios, we didn't have the rights. I thought I would just be a fan watching them. And now here at the premiere with you, it's remarkable.
And now this moment is here. And I remember all the way back 2019 Comic-Con, you said mutants are coming, and now they're here. Can you tease for us now that Wolverine, Deadpool, mutants are coming in MCU? What does this mean for us moving forward?
It's just the beginning. I mean, it does. I said the
Just
mutants
the beginning,
are coming, and
guys.
it all starts with this movie, and I can't wait for the show to start today, and people will see what this one has in store and know that this is the beginning of mutants finally arriving into the MCU.
Yeah, it's about time.
I can't thank you enough for everything that you do for us fans.
How much longer you got to talk? Another hour?
I could talk to you all day. So if you're going to stay up here, then we're doing an entire hour. Thank you so much, Kevin, for talking to us. Always a pleasure.
And Kevin leaves. Oh, I love that. I love it so much. So that's really cool. That's really cool because like Deadpool and Wolverine, I wasn't sure exactly, especially when they announced it, how it was going to play into the MCU. I always kind of saw this movie as maybe just being like a final goodbye to the Fox universe as they, move on to the MCU. But obviously, well, at least maybe not obviously, because we don't know anymore. Hugh Jackman's not going to be our main Wolverine in the MCU. I don't think they're bringing him over into the MCU, but it's very exciting to hear Kevin finally talk about the mutants. The mutants are here. He says this is just the beginning. So I'm so excited to see what the implications of this movie is going to be for the mutants finally coming in to the MCU. We've got Toxic Gamer in here as well, by the way. What's going on, Toxic Gamer? Does this mean you're not doing the live show tomorrow? Well, it wouldn't be tomorrow my time because it's still 9:30 on a Monday. But yeah, we're not going to be doing the show on Wednesday. This is kind of taking up the spot of Wednesday because I have other things going on and I want to avoid the spoilers from the general audience, so to speak. We got Collective Movie Man in here. What's going on, Collective Movie Man? Toxic Gamer hit 900 subscribers the other day. Congratulations, dude. Says, I also have good news. My parents have allowed me to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm seeing it Thursday. Awesome, dude. You and me both, man. Seeing it Thursday. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it. Hey, what's going on, Michael11591? What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining. And yeah, like I said, guys, we're gonna get into this. So I'm gonna start going through Twitter. I'll pull up select tweets as I scroll by them, what I want to talk about. And we'll take it from there. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to Deadpool and Wolverine. It's trending. And let's see what kind of reactions we have going on here. All right. So to start off, let's start with this one. We've got Mama Geekies says Deadpool and Wolverine is an absolute blast. It's everything Marvel fans want and more. I had the biggest smile on my face the whole time and even teared up. The needle drops are fire, incredible cameos, fantastic action. I'm going to watch this again and again and again. So there's our first reaction that we're reading tonight, guys, from Tessa Smith, Mama's Geeky. She really enjoyed it. I love hearing the needle drops are fire because we just did three rewatches, technically, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and Logan over on the members. And watching Deadpool and Deadpool 2 back again, I forgot how great the soundtracks were. I really did. And I love the soundtrack listing for Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know if you guys saw that drop the other day, but it looks great. It looks really funny. They've got The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman on the soundtrack. I have no idea how they're going to work that in, but I'm so freaking excited to see how they do it. We've got Michael101 saying they had the premiere tonight for the film here in New York. Yeah, New York City, man. I mean, were you there? Were you there? Did you see it? Michael101 says, looking forward to the film, seeing it Thursday night. Collective Movie Man says he's seeing Deadpool and Wolverine Thursday at 3 p.m. The Collective Movie Man says, I just got done watching Jimmy Fallon, and Ryan Reynolds was out there in Jimmy Fallon Cup asking him if Taylor Swift was in the movie and who are the other cameos. I don't think Taylor Swift is in the movie. I really don't. I think that they're having fun teasing people, but I'm going to put my money on it and say she's probably not in the movie. If she is in the movie, I think she pops up as like kind of a troll post-credit sequence. Like, hey, Taylor Swift is in the movie. She's just at the very, very end of the movie. But I don't think she's Lady Deadpool like a lot of people think. Toxic Gamer says, do you think this one will be tamer than the first two Deadpools or about the same? I would say after watching Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, I think it's going to be about the same as Deadpool 2. Because I think Deadpool 1 is actually crazier when it comes to the R rating than Deadpool 2 is. So I think it's going to be on the same par as Deadpool 2. Michael11591 says, I wish I was there. Yeah, man, me too. We all wish we were there. You know who was there? 3C Films was there, which was really cool to see. All right, let's see here. Let's see if I can find any more of these reactions. Let's see here. We got Austin Burke, he's a good one. Let's read Austin Burke. Let's bring that back up on screen. We've got Austin Burke, and he's saying Deadpool and Wolverine has every ounce of juice that the MCU has so desperately lacked as of late. Does this reinvent the wheel? No. Did it need to? Absolutely not. What it does is reinvigorate the franchise and inject the glorious madness of Deadpool in the best and most... Oh, wow, it's much longer. And most self-aware way. It is entirely aware of the type of insane story that it's telling, and that it is occasionally messy. Okay, it's occasionally messy, yet there are still plenty of heartfelt moments with Jackman, especially. Those who show up for the dynamic between our heroes will get an insane amount of payoff, numerous moments between Deadpool and Wolverine that will leave you smiling long after the movie ends. It has a fair share of narrative flaws, but it delivered everything I needed and left me energized once it ended. Let's effing go. All right, I like that. I like that reaction because that reaction gets me hyped. That reaction gives me expectations of the reality of the movie. Not everything's perfect, which I like going into that. And he also, I wasn't expecting everything to be perfect in this movie. I do expect that when you have so much going on, as much as we expect this movie to have going on, I do expect it to get a little bit messy. So I'm not surprised to hear that, but I'm also glad to hear that it's just a blast and left him smiling, because that seems to be a thing that we're seeing a lot of, is that it's going to leave people very, very happy. Michael 1591 says, do you think Taylor Swift is in the film? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. At least not significantly. I don't think she's significantly in the film. Toxic Gamer says Sean Chandler also saw it tonight as well. Let's check out Sean Chandler, actually, because Sean Chandler is someone I admire and look up to. So let's see what let's just go straight to Sean Chandler's Twitter page here. Let's see exactly what Sean Chandler had to say. Oh, he's got a thread. Okay, he's got quite a bit to say. Okay, let's get this on here. Let's see what Sean Chandler thought. So Sean Chandler says, Deadpool and Wolverine is a lot of fun. If you want top-notch irreverent Reynolds, you get it. If you want Jackman delivering laughs and emotional gravitas, you get that. If you want cameos, plenty. Okay, I know that's going to make a lot of people happy. Cameos, plenty, because that's something that I think Marvel might be course correcting with Deadpool and Wolverine, because people were expecting that with Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, was all the cameos. People got really let down by Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I kind of feel like Deadpool and Wolverine is kind of like a do-over from Marvel with Multiverse of Madness. So hearing him say cameos plenty, that's got to make some people happy. I'm pretty excited to see that. He goes on to say, if you want a memorable story, you've purchased a ticket. Oh, you purchased a ticket for the wrong movie. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't sound like the story is very strong, in Sean Chandler's opinion. He goes on to say, this movie actually delivers on the cameos people wanted from Multiverse of Madness. All right, well, there you go. And since Deadpool has always been an irreverent, fourth wall breaking franchise that treats the universe like a playground, it works to treat the multiverse like a playground. That just sounds like cotton candy fun to me, and I'm so in for that. The story exists to set up the Fox MCU bridge. Okay. Gags and character moments. It does its job making all of this possible, but it's very simplistic. Okay, I'm fine with the simplistic story, Sean. That's all I need. I don't think anyone's buying a ticket expecting a complex layered story, but still. Okay, so Sean sounds like he still had a great time at the movie. It sounds like he still had fun. Sounds like he still enjoyed it. It's just not a very strong story. But you know what? Aside from, actually, you know what? Even the first Deadpool is pretty simplistic. Is a pretty mediocre story when you really look at it, but it works. And I like what he says up here about Hugh Jackman delivering laughs and emotional gravitas, because one thing that I've noticed watching Deadpool and Deadpool 2 back again is they really do have an emotional through line through all of their narratives. So it's nice to kind of hear, at least through Sean Chandler talking about Jackman here, that they're still going to be able to inflict emotional through lines through Deadpool and Wolverine, assuming that's what he means. So that's going to be awesome. I'll take the screen down as I look for another one. But before we look for another one, let's see what you guys are saying. We got the Ace Avenue saying, one day, Zach, we will get early access. One day, man. One day. Just hold on. Keep fighting. Collective Movie Man says, I'm super excited for Thursday. Dude, it cannot get here fast enough. Toxic Gamer says, what is your F-bomb prediction for the movie? Oh, man, dude. I think they're gonna like spew out at least 50 to 100 in like the first 10 minutes, just as a joke, just the fact that they're on Disney and they can do it. I think you're going to get a ton of F-bombs in this thing. I think you're going to get like at least 150 200. Let's go 200. Even 200. Collective Movement says, Zach, I wanted to say thank you for checking out movies that made us with me and Zach Attack Review. Oh, you're welcome, dude. It was great. It was great seeing you on there, and I enjoyed being in the chat. Toxic Gamer says, are you going to be ranking all the X-Men Deadpool movies after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine? I've thought about it, but I don't know if we're going to have the time, to be honest with you. Because I'll let you guys know, kind of breaking news, I guess. I am in the process of officially moving. I'm officially moving. I'm officially in the process of that, packing, getting everything ready to go and all that kind of stuff. So I'm quite busy. I won't have the time, I think, to do a full ranking of that's like at least 20 films, I think. So yeah, one day I will, but it's probably not going to be this year. Trez Movie says, I'm seeing it Wednesday night. I'm way too excited. Dude, that's awesome. Wednesday night? Oh, man. That's very close for you. That's after tomorrow. Toxic Gamer says, I plan on doing so after my short out of the theater reaction, my full-length review, and spoiler review of the movie. Yeah, man, there's going to be lots of content coming from this movie. Lots of content for sure. Trez Movie says, as long as the movie is funny and is up there with No Way Home and Guardians 3, I don't care about story. I mean, that's a high bar. That's a high bar, even for Deadpool and Wolverine to tackle, being as emotionally and entertainingly satisfying as No Way Home. Now, granted, I love Spider-Man way more than I love Deadpool, so it's not like I'm expecting the same dream come true on the screen. Basically, is how I felt with No Way Home. No Way Home was just like someone went into my brain, was like, what would Zach love to see in Spider-Man movie, and just onto the screen it went. I'm not expecting that feeling to come from Deadpool and Wolverine, but I'm really looking forward to just to see this thing. It just looks so much fun. Let's go back. Let's see. We got a couple of reactions here. Let's go back to Dan Marcus. And Dan Marcus is saying, Deadpool and Wolverine is the best Marvel film in many years. I think a lot of us are expecting it to be. I would be curious if he's including Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and stuff in there. It's funny, it's violent as hell, and has a really big heart. Okay, there it is again. Another thing with the emotion, because like I said, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 had a lot of heart, so it's good to see they continue with that. The scene where Hugh Jackman looks to the camera and says, Logan was never good to begin with. Oh, okay, so there's a little joke. Listens gas from my audience. Cannot recommend this enough. Okay, so just a little glimpse of some of the humor that we're gonna get in this. Leo Rydell, Geekly Goods, he's awesome. I love this guy. He's on here saying, let's effing go. Deadpool and Wolverine was a blast. The chemistry between Hugh and Ryan is dynamite. Exquisite action sequences, undeniable comedy, and cameos that enhance the story. Can't wait to watch it again. That is really interesting to me. I'm going to pull that down because this is kind of like the first reaction that has talked about the chemistry between the two guys, which I'm honestly surprised we haven't really seen that talked about in the previous reactions that we just looked at, because I mean, that's kind of the icing on. This is what's selling the movie, is the Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds relationship from real life coming to the screen as Jackman as Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I mean, everything in the trailer between these guys has looked like electricity. Everything. I've been watching their interviews over the past couple days as they've been going around promoting this movie, and I am so excited to see what they bring to the screen, because them alone on their interviews, so funny. Their chemistry is out of this world. So I'm very interested that that's the very first reaction that we've read that actually talks about the chemistry between those two guys. I thought we'd seen that a lot earlier. All right, we see Toxic Gamer saying, aren't you seeing the movie twice, Zach? I am. I'm seeing it Thursday night, and then I'm seeing it Friday night, going back the next day. Collective Movement says, I'm going to start Deadpool tomorrow. Yeah, get that rewatch in, man. Toxic Gamer says, do you think this has the best marketing in movie history? I personally think it does. The best market, I will say the marketing of Deadpool and Wolverine I thought was a little bit lackluster. Just a little bit. Like when the first Deadpool was coming out, and even like the second Deadpool, I just felt like Deadpool was everywhere and they did so many gags and so much fun things. Whereas I don't feel like I actually saw as much Deadpool and Wolverine hijinks as I thought I was going to see. But the popcorn bucket, iconic. Those Xbox controllers that they just released, iconic. So yeah, definitely up there with some of the best marketing of all time. Trez Movie says, thoughts on Twister's box office? Definitely surprised me. Well, I haven't seen Twisters and haven't really been looking at the box office too much, and we're kind of here to just talk about Deadpool and Wolverine reaction, so I'm not going to answer that too in depth, but I will say, a little bit more than I thought it was going to do. A legacy sequel to a movie I didn't think was honestly that beloved did pretty well. Collective Movie Man says, I really need to pick up the X-Men 3 film 4K set. I've been kind of biting the bullet on it because it's so expensive, because it came out around the time when Fox was still around. Yeah, I mean, those 3 movies, do you want to spend all the money on? I mean, the first 2 are great, but then you got Last Stand in there. And is that worth it? Is that worth it? Toxic Aaron says, dang, every movie reviewer is moving. 3C Films, Film Stock, and you, but good luck on your move. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for that. That is kind of funny, actually. Toxic Aaron says, also, did your AC get fixed? Just curious. Oh, well, thank you so much for asking, man. And no, it did not. It did not get fixed. Toxic Aaron says, what are all the cameos are expected for the movie that haven't been shown in the trailers already? Man, I don't know, dude. I mean, my original thought, we know Elektra's in it. We know Jennifer Gardner. She's already been confirmed. I do expect to see some Fox characters show up. I still think you bring a Wolverine along, you're going to have some other X-Men with him. I still think you're going to get Sue Storm in there. Not Sue Storm. Just Storm. You just get Storm in there. I think you're going to... James Marsden as Cyclops, I would not be surprised about. Sue Storm, you know what? Jessica Alba, bring her back. Bring back that original Fantastic Four. I think that'd be a lot of fun, too. But you know what? It's funny because now that we've had the premiere, we've seen some of the celebrities show up. And one of those celebrities that showed up that's making big waves on Twitter right now is Andrew Garfield showed up. Is it possible? We get a Spider-Man in here? We get an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in here? Maybe. I mean, he's already in the fold. He's already in the MCU with No Way Home. It's not crazy to think that he could pop up in here too. But I think that's reading into a lot. I think you're just going to get a lot of Fox cameos. I haven't really been on the Ben Affleck Daredevil train at the moment, but I'm not going to rule it out. I think Ben Affleck is Daredevil. He could make an appearance. Denise Avenue says, I'm smiling from ear to ear hearing these reactions. Me too, man. Me too. Toxic Gamer says, I'll start watching the X-Men movies tomorrow. Oh, man, you got to catch up. You got a lot to go through. Toxic Gamer says, to build up to Deadpool and Wolverine. Yep, watch them to build up to Deadpool and Wolverine. Makes perfect sense. All right, let's see if we can find some more reactions here. Let's see if we can find some more of these. Let's see here. This one looks okay. Let's go to Mike Ryan. And this is what Mike Ryan has to say about his reaction. Deadpool and Wolverine smokes. So much fun. And a love letter, hate the term, but it is what it is, to the Fox era of Marvel movies. I assumed it would be violent based on how much Marvel's been selling that, but I'd say, it's the most gory of the 3. Okay, that is interesting. That's a new... I mean, I figured it would be violent, but the most gory of the 3. Especially when you look at like the first one and the bridge sequence and everything, like they amped up the violence. That's very exciting to hear. Another thing he says in here is the love letter to the Fox era of Marvel movies. I like hearing that too, because we saw the 20th Century Fox logo kind of slanted in the void in the trailers. There's been a lot of reference, obviously, to the Fox movies with Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and Deadpool. But I like hearing that it's a love letter to Fox, because that's kind of what I was hoping we'd also see in this movie, because Fox got acquired by Disney, and then that X-Men universe just kind of ended so abruptly, and on 2 bad stances with Dark Phoenix and New Mutants back to back. That was a terrible way for that long going franchise to end, to have their final movies. So that's too bad. But I like hearing that it's a love letter to Fox, and that they're kind of going to give some honor to that studio and what that studio did with those X-Men films, because they ran that thing for a very long time. Let's see here. We got a Collective Movie Man saying, how I told you I was watching Jimmy Fallon, Ryan Reynolds was on there. He came out on like a balloon kind of thing, that with Deadpool on it, and then he jumped into the audience. Okay, I'm gonna have to find this clip, because this clip sounds wild. This sounds wild. I gotta find this. Toxic Gamer says, do you think this will become the highest grossing movie of all time? No, I don't. I don't think, when you look at the highest grossing movie of all time, it's Avatar: The Way of Water at like $2.8 billion. I don't think this is gonna hit $2.8 billion. Trez movie says The Last Stand is entertaining enough. Yeah, fair enough. I don't hate the movie as much as a lot of people do, but I don't think it's great. Tox Gamer says it's definitely become the highest grossing It's definitely becoming the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I think that is more realistic of a shot than being the highest grossing movie of all time in general. Collective Movie Man says I definitely think we're gonna get an Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. You know, I think Patrick Stewart, I don't know about Ian McKellen. I would be super stoked Ian McKellen showed up. I mean, I would be stoked if we got what was the other one? Help me out, guys. Who played young Magneto? Who played young Magneto? What is his name? James McAvoy and can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But the younger version of Magneto, I wouldn't be surprised if we got him, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got James McAvoy also in there. Maybe we get all four. Maybe get all four in there. I wouldn't be surprised. Michael Fassbender. Thank you, Toxic Gamer. Michael Fassbender was killing me. I wouldn't be surprised if we got Michael Fassbender in there as well. I imagine they're going to be really quick. I imagine they're going to be like really quick cameos. Trez Movie says this has been a lackluster year for movies the year so far, with a few exceptions, but I'm hoping this is one to change my mind. Also, got to be better than the Marvels. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I enjoyed the Marvels. Collective Movie Man says, hey, Zach, I don't know if you heard, but Blade just got announced to be R-rated if we ever get it. I mean, I read the comments from Kevin Feige. He did say that much like Deadpool, the previous movies were R-rated, the previous Blade movies were R-rated, so it's most likely they're going to go in that direction. But at the same time, he also said they don't have a writer, they don't have a director, they don't have a release date. So I'll believe it when I see it. But I don't doubt that it could happen. Toxic Gamer says, do you think in the movie they'll have an Avengers Endgame like part where all the Fox characters team up to take out Cassandra Nova? No. I'm gonna say no. I don't think they do that. I don't imagine. Look, we'll go through the reactions a little bit more here in a minute, but I don't imagine that the cameos are actually going to have like a huge play narratively. I feel like they're probably just going to be like pit stops, because one of the things we heard about this movie when it was being developed and announced was it's kind of like a road trip movie with Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, we haven't read anything in these reactions that have declared that that's still the case. I just remember when they announced the movie, that's kind of what they said it was going to be like. So I imagine the cameos will kind of be like pit stops on this multiversal road trip. I don't think they'll be like huge narrative players, if that makes sense. I don't think we're going to get this big team up of all of the Fox characters. That would be dope, though. If they did that, don't get me wrong, I want to see that. I just don't believe we will. Trez Movie says, I forgot Dark Phoenix even existed. Every time I think about all the X-Men movies, I never think of that one. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable. Toxic Hero says, how do you predict the movie will end? See, that's tricky. I don't know. Here's the thing. Deadpool is coming into the MCU. Some way or another, I think this ends with Deadpool in the MCU. The tricky thing that I'm not sure about is the whole movie is about saving his universe. So I wonder if like they are going to kill his universe, or if all of his friends are going to come over into the MCU as well. Because I think Deadpool's coming. I think Deadpool's in the MCU. Hugh Jackman, I'm not sure about. I'm not sure what happens with Wolverine by the end of this movie. I don't think he's coming to the MCU. I think you know what? He might sacrifice. There might be a Wolverine sacrifice. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's what I love about it too, is I have no idea. I can't predict this movie. Maybe some people can. Maybe you're screaming at the screen right now thinking that I'm an idiot. But I honestly cannot predict how this movie is going to go, and that gets me really, really excited. The 8th Avenue says, what time is your movie on Thursday? 4:30. 4:30. Can't wait. Right after work. Collective Movie Man says, I've heard we could be getting different versions of Wolverine. I think that's been confirmed for sure. Yeah, I think that's been confirmed. And I'm super excited to see who they get to play and what they do with that. Toxic Gamer says, it was already confirmed none of the X-Men prequel cast are in it, unfortunately. You know what? I don't buy these confirmed I'm not in it anymore. Like Andrew Garfield kind of killed that, I think, definitively in the industry as a whole. When Andrew Garfield came out and said he was not in Spider-Man No Way Home and that he was playing werewolf and he's not the werewolf, I'm not the werewolf. And when the minute he popped up on the screen, jumping through that portal in No Way Home, every credibility of an actor saying I'm not a part of this project, especially when it comes to Marvel, I don't pay any attention to it. I don't think any of it is legit. I don't give any. I think I take every single bit of it with a grain of salt. Everything with a grain of salt. Let's refresh. Let's see what we got from some more of these reactions. Let's go here. Let's go to this one. Again, guys, like, if you don't want to know anything, if you don't want to know anything going into the movie, as far as what you can expect to feel and the enjoyment level, then let's like, you just jump off now. Just jump off now, because we're gonna go into these reactions now. We got Connor Petrie here saying Deadpool and Wolverine proves that now is the time for Reynolds' Merc with a Mouth to join the MCU. It's as foul mouthed as ever and serves up some genuine surprises that certainly dig into the current quality of the MCU. Okay, so it sounds like they're definitely going to make fun of the current state of the MCU. It's a bloodbath and a laugh riot. Long live Wolverine. That's the second kind of reaction that's talked about how gory it is. It's a bloodbath and a laugh riot. You know, as much as I was expecting action, as much as I was expecting R-rated action to still come out of this movie, I don't think I was expecting to hear that it was this gore, that it was like bloodbath. That is quite the term. It's a bloodbath. Makes it sound very, very bloody. We got Liam T. Crowley saying Deadpool and Wolverine restores the feeling, a total love letter to the Fox Marvel I grew up on, the most energy I've felt watching a movie since Endgame. We've heard that about every MCU movie. I don't care. It's real. This means something to me. I mean, that does kind of play into the whole, hey, do we see every Fox character at like the end of Endgame, like you were saying there, Toxic? Or was it Trev? I can't remember now. But that's another great. I want to see if I can find any reactions that aren't glowing, because so far everyone is absolutely over the moon, loving this thing. Let's see if there's anything. Well, actually, let's go here. Let's go to Chris Parker. Let's go to 3C Films, because 3C Films is awesome. I love the guy. So let's see what he had to say. He says, Chris Parker says, Deadpool and Wolverine lived up way beyond the hype. Oh, dude, you're getting my juices flowing there, 3C. It's seamless. It's seamless jumps from a nostalgic cameo-fueled ride to a genuine, sweet, and emotional tribute to the Fox era Marvel movies. It's insane how much was hidden. Funniest MCU movie to date. Sean Levy's action also kicks butt. Nice. Okay, so we've got a couple of things here that we've heard before. We heard sweet and emotional, but he's going even further and saying that the sweet and emotional moments and aspects relate back to the Fox era Marvel movies and how they treat them. So that's a little bit different, because Sean Chandler was talking about Hugh Jackman's performance being emotional. So that's interesting. I wonder how those connect. It's insane how much was hidden. That gets me really happy. It's insane how much was hidden. So there's definitely going to be many, many, many people showing up in this thing, like we've been speculating for a very long time. Super excited to potentially see that. Let's make sure that we're not turning to speculation too much into our expectations. Let's keep it. I'm talking to myself, by the way. I'm talking to myself right now. And the funniest MCU movie today, I don't doubt that. I'm sure that's going to be subjective, because Deadpool humor, I do feel, is very, very subjective. If you're not into dick jokes, you're probably not going to find it the funniest MCU movie ever. But I've laughed consistently through the first Deadpool movie, so I'm looking forward to getting back into this world and this humor. Got Eric Davis from New Rockstars. Love that channel too. Saying, let's effing go. Absolutely loved Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, the cameos and surprises are epic, and the humor, action, blood-soaked fights. There it is again. Blood-soaked fights and needle drops are tremendous too. But it's the respect and love for the characters that win you over. This is the ultimate Deadpool movie. This is the ultimate Deadpool movie. It's the ultimate Wolverine movie. That is a big statement right there. Let's just pause right there. It is the ultimate Wolverine movie. I mean, we have had many, many, many outings with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And honestly, I mean, maybe I'll feel the same way. Maybe I won't. But up until this point, I would say the ultimate Wolverine movie was Logan. So the fact that he's kind of insinuating here that this is better than even Logan, that's high praise. It's a damn good time, and the best of the three Deadpool movies for sure. Have fun. All right. So like I said, we were going to find negative reactions, and we have not found a single one yet. We have not found a single one yet. I'm going to scroll here a little bit. Grace Randolph says, perfect, no notes, one of the best comic book movies ever made. I take Grace Randolph with a grain of salt. I'm not always on her side when it comes to opinions. let's see here. We've got Olivia Singh. Let's pull this back up here. We've got Olivia Singh here. She's saying, still trying to process everything I saw, but Deadpool and Wolverine is the most fun I've had at the movies this year. I don't doubt that. The movie year has not been that great. Aside from Dune Part 2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I can't... Oh, and Abigail. I loved Abigail. But other than that, I can't really say I loved anything else. The jokes land, the cameos are exciting, and the dynamic duo of Ryan and Who is firing on all cylinders. Laughed so hard, I almost cried. See, that's the thing. Another one that says Ryan and Who talking about their dynamic and their chemistry, but there's very few reactions talking about them. That surprises me, to be honest, because if you had asked me what are the reactions going to be like yesterday, what were the reactions going to be like for Deadpool and Wolverine, I would say they would have Marvel is back, definitely in there. You'd have Hugh and Ryan Reynolds are amazing, they're on fire, and you'd have something about a post-credit scene. We haven't seen anything talked about a post-credit scene yet, so that's really interesting too. Jack McBrien says, Deadpool and Wolverine had my theater laughing from start to finish. Easily the funniest movie in the MCU. The action scenes are over the top and the cameos are substantial, but it's the chemistry between Ryan and Who, there it is again, that makes this movie special. Worth a trip to the theaters. All right, so it is hard right now to find people who do not have anything to say about this. Oh, Toxic Gamer says Sean Chandler just posted his out of the theater reaction on Twitter. All right, I want to go watch that. He's probably just going to repeat a lot of what he said on Twitter, but let's see if we can pull this up. Let's see if we can pull up Sean Chandler's out of the theater reaction. I imagine it's on his short fees. Yep, there it is. All right, we'll pull that up. We're doing it live. We're doing it live, impromptu. That's what we're doing. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Sean Chandler, and this is his out of the theater reaction to Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's see. We already read his tweet. Let's see how his tweet compares to his video.
We just got out of the theater from watching Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie is a lot of fun. It's as irreverent, as funny as ever, dramatically more fourth wall breaking because it ties so much into the cinematic universe side of things. The cameo crowd, this movie actually delivers on the teases and everything that people thought that Multiverse of Madness was going to do. Because it is this irreverent fourth wall breaking franchise, it's allowed to get away with doing this cameo fest where it feels right. Hugh Jackman
that feels good.
Is able to bring just a certain gravitas and sincerity to everything that he does. The emotional weight comes because you believe him. You know, on a story level, it's fairly straightforward and simple. And so I don't know that the story is all that interesting. That created a scenario where we could put these two on screen together. It did a great job at that. Look forward to having an awful lot of fun this weekend when you go see it. So I just got out of the theater.
Sean. All right. So watching his video, he definitely sounds more enthusiastic than he did in his tweet. Oh, his tweets were good. He definitely liked the movie. I could tell from his tweets, but watching him actually discuss it in person is awesome. So a couple things there that he did expand upon from his tweet. The cameo fest there, he says that it works to the movie, which I like hearing that. There's a lot of I guess Wolverine is going to be like the emotional core of the movie, which it sounds like, which is interesting because I felt like from the trailers they were harping on Deadpool and his universe being, I mean, I'm sure it's a part of it too. He can't say everything right now. Obviously, it's a social embargo, and I don't want to know everything right now. But that gets me excited. That gets me really excited. That gets me super excited. Let's see here. We got let's go to the comments for a second. We got Trev's movie saying sitting in a McDonald's parking lot while listening to Zach. Well, it's an honor, man. Thank you so much for including me in your McDonald's trip. Trev's movie says also already got 2 Deadpool and Wolverine shirts. One has Dogpool. Awesome, dude. No one has mentioned Dogpool. I thought Dogpool would be a highlight. Toxic Gamer says for some of the behind the scenes photos, it looks quite gory. It did look like obviously more gory than any of the other MCU movies we've had. There's obviously blood shown. Even in the trailer, there was blood shown when he's taking down the TVA agents. But I wasn't expecting to hear like bloodbath and goriest of the 3 and all that stuff. Collective Movie Man says, I definitely think we're going to get Mute Deadpool where his lips were sold or sewn up from the Wolverine origin story movie. I feel like they've done that so many times though. Like they did the joke with the action figure in the first Deadpool movie. Then they did the joke of him going back in time or traveling through the multiverse, whatever he did, and killing that version of him at the end of Deadpool 2. So I don't know. I feel like they've already done it, but it's possible. Jazz Movie says, I hope we get the Peter movie with Rob Delaney. I'd be down for that, man. Peter is MVP of Deadpool 2. Collective Movie Man says, one of the questions that Jimmy Fallon asked him, are we going to get a Deadpool 4? And he's like, oh, no, my wife already said I did a Deadpool 4. She would divorce me. Oh, man. That's funny. Dox Gamer says, leave Schreiber as a returning prequel. Sabretooth would be a good cameo. Also, the best part of X-Men Origins Wolverine. I believe Sabretooth has been shown in the trailer already, or at least in one of the TV spots already. So he'll be in. I don't know which one it is though, but he'll be in there. Jazz Movie says, you're gonna get the Wolverine bucket, Zach. Dude, I would love to. I would absolutely love to get that. But why do I still have Sean Chandler up here? I would love to get that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure they're all sold out, and I'm pretty sure it would cost me a fortune at this point to get that. Collective Movie Man says, I will send you a link, Zach, to the Jimmy Fallon episode. Appreciate it, man. I definitely want to check that out. Jazz Movie says, you also got to remember that social media first reviews aren't always trustworthy. Well, that's the thing too, right? Is these social media reviews, or not even reviews, reactions, first thoughts. They're coming out, they're hyped, they're at the premiere. They can only say so much, and they tend to focus more on the positive aspects of their experiences than their negatives. I mean, we've seen many times before where social media embargoes, their reactions, their first thoughts, they come out after a movie, they sound great, and then you watch the Rotten Tomatoes score kind of come out at like a 40 or 50%. I mean, it happened with Super Mario Brothers, the movie just last year. People came out of that, they seemed to have a good time, they liked the Easter eggs, they seemed to thought it was a cute movie. We all thought the Rotten Tomatoes score was going to be huge, and then it came out and it was like 51% or something like that. Kind of shocked us all. So this doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, a fantastic movie, a fantastic Rotten Tomatoes score. I put out a poll on the channel asking you guys what you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is going to debut at with Deadpool and Wolverine. I think tomorrow it will debut, or sometime tomorrow. I'm thinking it's probably going to be around the 70 to 85. I think 90 will be the highest it'll reach, and that'll be like incredible. But I think it's going to be in the high 80s or maybe the high 70s. That's my thoughts. Let's see here. We got Film Stock also posted, and Zach Pope. Okay, well let's see what they have to say. Let's see if we can get Film Stock and Zach Pope up here. Film Stock, because I like all those guys. Those guys are great. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's see what Chris is saying. After this ad plays. Oh, good. I can skip it. All right. We don't have to be super awkward. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see what he has to say. This is Film Stock.
Deadpool and Wolverine, my most anticipated movie of the year. This is my very quick out of theater action, no spoilers. Stay tuned for my full in-depth review dropping tomorrow. I can't say much here, but I can say this much. Let's go. Deadpool and Wolverine was awesome. I'll talk all about why in my actual review. If you're worried about Deadpool missing a beat in the MCU, no worries here, because it utilizes being in the cinematic universe to its advantage, especially in the comedy department. I honestly am blown away by various scenes in this film that I can talk about eventually. Whatever you're expecting, I mean, I'm at a loss of words. I have so much to say. I really, like, this is one of those movies where I was going in and it felt like I was getting ready to go on a roller coaster I was afraid of. I don't really get the jitters or the butterflies in my stomach often before movies anymore. And this one had that special feeling before I even went in. And it's just so nice to walk out and say, damn, that was a blast at the movies. It's got all the feels of MCU that we've come to know and love over the years. I can't reveal too much, but the movie's jam-packed with surprises, fan fist pump moments. It'll be impossible for you not to have a smile on your face.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
It's impressive awesome. Because while it still has all this really awesome stuff and eye candy for Marvel fans, right? There's so much heart. I can't say much more. LFG, baby. LFG, Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, I'm so excited to review this movie. I'm so excited to talk about this movie more. I'm sweating right now. Just now started sweating thinking about it. I haven't wanted to go see a movie in theaters immediately after watching it for quite some time. I would go watch this movie right now if I could again. I'll leave you with that. Full review coming later. Probably a spoiler review. Lots to discuss here. Deadpool and Wolverine. Can't wait to talk about this with you guys more. What do you think? What are your predictions, your expectations?
Okay. I really liked that reaction in particular because not because of what he was saying, but the way that he was acting. You could just genuinely see that he was at a loss for words. He was speechless by what he had witnessed. He just looked happy. He just looked like he had a great time. He looked like someone who had his mind blown. And that's what we're all hoping to get, right? All right, we'll do a couple more here, guys. We'll do a couple more reactions here because really all the reactions seem to be pretty positive, pretty much all the same. The chemistry is great. The cameos are fantastic. The action is super bloody and gory, and there's a lot of heart. All 4 things, and the humor, all 5 things that I was really hoping to hear, and we are hearing it. I'm very surprised still that there's no mention of a post-credit sequence. I'm very surprised that no one's really saying this is like a new start to the MCU or Marvel's back or anything like that. That's very, very surprising. Maybe they all learned because we all make jokes about it now. But let's do Zach Pope, unless there's any other guys you guys are seeing out there. Let's do Zach Pope, and then we'll go through some more comments and questions, and then I think we'll call it a night. So let's because I'm ready. I'm ready. This is just at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this movie. I know I'm ready for this movie. The worst thing that could have happened tonight was coming out of people coming out of the premiere and being disappointed or saying it lacks something. And I'm glad we're not hearing that. I'm really glad we're not hearing that. So let's see here. Zach Pope, right here. Okay. Also on a short. Whoa, he just starts. That hurt my ear a little bit. All right, Zach Pope. Let's bring another Zach on screen and let's see what he has to say.
I just got done watching Deadpool and Wolverine. This is my non-spoiler out of the theater reaction. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you.
Better not, Zach.
Review very soon. That will also have no spoilers.
I'll subscribe.
What did I think about the movie? I liked it a lot. I think this is the shot in the arm that the MCU truly needed. It is entertaining. It is an absolute riot. It is gory as all hell.
There it is,
and
again.
It is hilarious as well. This film has so many massive surprises, ones that I was expecting and some that I was not at all. And every single one of them delivered to the highest degree. And the thing that I was most surprised by, they really made it work with Logan's legacy as well as Deadpool's background and everything that's kind of gone on in Deadpool's life, and mixing and matching this all into the MCU, which for me is what Deadpool does best, is flipping the comic book genre on its head and changing it up. And specifically this time in the multiverse. I have so many thoughts. So I just got done watching Deadpool.
All right. Again, another great reaction. I love what he said there about all the Logan's legacy, Deadpool's background, and mixing it all with the MCU. Because this is a really complicated soup in a lot of ways that Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Kevin Feige are all putting together to bring this R-rated franchise with a character that's already said goodbye and had a great finale movie into an MCU, which has been so family friendly up until this point, making it R-rated, putting it in that universe. It sounds like a complete mess of a bowl, but it sounds like they made it work. All these reactions have made me very, very, very happy, very excited, and that's it. That's the last I will be on YouTube before having seen Deadpool and Wolverine. The next time you guys see me, I will have seen Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm so excited. Before we get out of here, let's see what a couple of you guys are saying in the chat. We've got Collective Movement saying, Zach, did you hear that tomorrow the second trailer for Joker 2 movie is dropping tomorrow? I'm going to try and do a trailer reaction to that, but I did hear that, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to be cooking up. Toxic Gamer says, I'm a head out now. Great stream as always from a great guy. Good luck on your move. Have a great rest of your day or night. With that being said, I'll see you next time. Yeah, man. Pizza time. Thank you so much for being here, Toxic Gamer. The show is made better because you were a part of it, my friend. And I appreciate you, dude. Trez Movies says, I think the theaters won't sell the bucket until release date, so Thursday. Yeah, but I think they're gonna go so fast. I think they're gonna be gone. Everyone at the premiere got a bucket, so good for them. Dace Avenue says, I could really use a time machine right about now. I know, man. Just get me to Thursday. Just get me to Thursday. Collective Movement says, I'm definitely going to be doing an out of the theater reaction for Deadpool and Wolverine Thursday after I get out. Me too, my friend. Trez Movie says, I'd stay off social media come Thursday until you see the movie. That is the plan, absolutely. And Trez Movie says, I don't think they'd show the movie this early if it wasn't great. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it goes either like, because sometimes they show these Marvel movies like a week, 2 weeks in advance, and that's a really good sign. I was a little bit dubious that they were doing it this close, but it also is because there seems to be so many surprises and so many cameos they probably didn't want to let slip. So I'm very happy to see that that's kind of seemingly how it worked out, because people are coming out of here, they're loving it. And Collective Movement says, have an awesome night, Zach. You too. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this. Sharing the hype of Deadpool and Wolverine, guys. It is just about among us. Thursday cannot get here faster. I'll be back Thursday with my first thoughts for Deadpool and Wolverine, followed by a review. Hopefully Thursday night, probably out by Friday. Then I'll be seeing the movie again on Friday. And then we've got members talking our spoiler talk on Saturday. That'll be up on Monday. There's a ton of Deadpool and Wolverine content coming your way, and it sounds like it's going to be well worth it. I cannot wait. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.